they've already gone home. I mean, it seems like it's pretty loose.
Traditionally, the reps are in Springfield from January to May. The session year starts in January, and we're required by law to have a budget by May 31st, right? So presumably you would work at a pro-rated way throughout the whole months, but that's not the way that Madigan likes to run it. He likes to just go slow, cancel a lot of days, don't have a lot of committee meetings, let the pressure build up so that in April and May, when you really have to do, there's no time to read the bills, there's no time to debate the bills, everything's got to be done in a rush behind his closed doors, and the budget in the years that I was there showed up and was voted on within an hour. And nobody on the Republican side ever read it, which is why I always voted no. I'm not going to vote for it if I never read it. Yeah, that's the way Madigan's been running it up until now. So we could be working all along. Most states work. Most states have committee meetings where things are negotiated. It's really startling when you talk to representatives from other states about they function, they have committees, they negotiate, they work on the bills in a substantive way. We don't do that here in Illinois. It's all behind closed doors over in his suite.
One of the things that I noticed, because I've been before a couple of committees on Second Amendment issues, and one of the things that I found interesting, the Democrats, when it comes to Second Amendment, they would ask questions that didn't make sense. And when I would answer something, they were like totally surprised. I mean, they had no idea. Whereas the Republicans, for the most part, not all, but for the most part, the Republicans actually understood the Second Amendment issue that we were talking about. I was just surprised at how little the Democrats tend to know about the subject they're voting on.
My experience is that that's an accurate perception of reality. Right now, with Mike Madigan as the speaker, Democrat reps only have to please one person in the state. And they don't need to know a lot about a lot of subjects because Michael Madigan's staff tells them how to vote. If you look over on the Democrat side of the floor, you see a lot of staffers. That's because each staffer has a certain amount of reps that they want to make sure those Dem reps are voting the way that they need to vote, that they are told to vote. So they don't need to know about what they're voting on. That's why you had one of them playing Candy Crush, okay? So, whereas Republicans actually come from a place of, because they are usually in Springfield because they come from some concern that they had. So they're knowledgeable about it, whether it's property taxes or business or, or Second Amendment. These are issues that have moved people. They come with knowledge and they act from knowledge.
Yeah, we've certainly noticed that about Democrats. They don't understand basic issues, at least as far as Second Amendment goes. They don't understand basic issues, and oftentimes when you tell them what the fact is, it surprises the heck out of them. We're going to take a break. When we come back, I want to talk about Michael Madigan a little bit. So we'll be talking about Madigan and a lot more on Target Radio, and you're listening to AM560
The Answer.
Ever wish you could hear Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson at some time other than in the morning? Well, now you can with Dan and Amy 24/7. Go to danandamy247.com or launch the AM560 mobile app and click on Choose Stream in the bottom left-hand corner. Hey, now you can hear replays of Chicago's Morning Answer, the best of Dan and Amy, and the Dan Proft Show all day, every day on Dan and Amy 24/7.
Do you like your gun range bag? There's a really cool local company here in Chicagoland that makes the finest range bags anywhere. And these quality range bags are so inexpensive that I bet you won't hesitate to buy one. The Hackett range bags from Hackett Equipment have it all. There are compartmentalized pouches that hold 2 or 4 pistols, ammo, mags, and even targets. Basically everything you need for a day at the range in a stealth design that doesn't resemble a range bag. Nobody will know you're carrying firearms. Additionally, they're super heavy duty and will last a lifetime because Hackett exclusive bags are 30% heavier than typical range bags, and the price is unreal. The large pack is under $100 and the small one under $80. But if you visit gunrangebags.com and use the promo code AM560, you'll save an additional 10%. Hackett equipment bags really are range bags that can hack it. That's gunrangebags.com, promo code AM560. Gunrangebags.com. Do it now.
Did you miss the open enrollment this year? I can help you purchase a PPO health insurance plan all year long that eliminates the mandatory maternity coverage. This is Tom Marabali, and if you're 50 years old and are covered by the Affordable Care Act, you're paying for maternity coverage whether you want the coverage or not. The least expensive ACA PPO health insurance plan is $540 per month with a total out-of-pocket cost of $8,550 before your bills are paid at 100%. I can eliminate the mandatory maternity coverage and lower your monthly premium down to $273 per month with a total out-of-pocket cost of $2,500 before your bills are paid at 100%. That's a savings of $6,050 in total out-of-pocket costs per person with my lower deductible, and you save $267 per month with my lower premiums. For a free quote and to see if you qualify, call me, Tom Marabali, at 630-863-3477. That's 630-863-3477.
Balance of Nature's fruits and vegetables in a capsule. Changing the world, one life at a time.
Being a truck driver, I don't always eat right, and it kind of balances out my natural body mechanisms and gives me a lot of energy. And I just recently went to the doctor to do a bunch of tests, and what was amazing, just like other people have said in your advertisements, is the first question was, what are you doing? I've never seen such good blood work. You are perfect. And so I go to this Balance of Nature. And I said, you really need to look it up because it works. So my checkup was excellent. So I'm just thrilled. I am really happy.
Right now, Balance of Nature is offering free shipping and 35% off on any new preferred order. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code Chicago.
You're listening to On Target Radio on AM560 The Answer with David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz. Here's David and Gretchen with more interesting conversation on gun control, concealed carry, freedom of speech, and other red meat issues that affect your life. To participate, call the studio at 312-642-5600.
And we're back with more On Target Radio. Our guest this evening is Margo McDermott, who is retiring from her seat representing the 37th District in the Illinois House of Representatives. So since you won't have the pressure of being a legislator, you can tell us where all the bodies are buried. Let's start with where we're going to bury Madigan. Madigan's in trouble today, isn't he?
Well, so far he's only gotten 51 votes out of the 60 that he needs to be reelected as Speaker.
That's a big gap.
Where's he going to get those 9?
Yeah, maybe some Republicans. Is Kinzinger
Not going to happen.
Oh, no, that's federal. Right.
Yeah, he's in Congress.
Yeah, it looks like his ship is sinking.
He's been taking on some water for sure.
And how long has he been Speaker?
Like 30 years.
30-some years?
More than 30 years,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think business the old way. Well, here's the scary question. The scary question is, have they become disenchanted with him because they're tired of the way he does business, or they're disenchanted with him because the business is getting meaner than it ever was before and he's not mean enough?
A number of reps, 19 to be exact, jumped ship. These are Democrat reps because of the ComEd, et cetera, indictments.
The deal, yeah.
And if you're a suburban rep, if you're a progressive rep, your constituents are asking you every day, why does Illinois have Mike Madigan? Are you supporting Mike Madigan? How can you support corruption? So the suburban reps can't, the suburban women cannot vote for him. They will not go back to Springfield in 2 years if they do. And a number of progressives have also jumped ship. Now, do these people, would they like Madigan to be more progressive? Yes. But they wanted him to be more progressive 2 years ago, 4 years ago, and 6 years ago.
That's not
and they
fair.
still voted for him because he had the money and he had the power to assign them to committees or not.
Right.
And they didn't have an excuse not to support him. now with the ComEd and the himself and all the other tapes and friends of Mike that are under indictment right now, they have cover. No one would step out, even though they knew all these things about him until the feds came after his friends. And now they're not so much afraid anymore, and they can come out.
Are we looking at potential jail time?
For some of the folks under indictment,
but not
yes.
for him, I would think. I mean, he's sort of like the Teflon Don.
They're working their way up. It's by no means a sure thing that they're still going for him.
Yeah,
they may get him yet.
It sounds to me like it's only a matter of time. But my question is, okay, so ComEd is the one he got caught for, or his associates so far have gotten caught in.
Correct.
So I assume, do you know, but I assume there's more. That's not the only deal.
Well, we know the feds are also investigating Lurie Children's Hospital, one of the banks, and there's a third one. It's escaping me right this minute, but they are investigating some other actors in the pay-to-play world.
Awesome.
Yes. And
Awesome.
the feds move slowly, but they move surely.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And are all these people under indictment going to go down and not talk?
Well,
Right.
and that's it.
That's a big question.
No honor among thieves. They'll
the-
flip if they can make a deal.
I worked in corporate America for 30 years. Those ComEd execs will not sacrifice themselves for Mike Madigan.
Well, that's
Maybe some of the other Democrat Party operatives will. Mm-hmm. The corporate executives will not sacrifice themselves for him.
Right.
Not going to happen.
Well, that's good. I don't know if our listeners know this, but I know that it's fairly well known probably to people like you. But people don't realize, I think, the level to which Madigan is careful. He has no email and he has no cell phone. And I don't think that's commonly known, like out by regular Joes.
Well, he doesn't leave a trace.
Well, it's been in the newspapers. So if people follow, I mean, everybody, when I go door to door and knock, people are just like, why is he still there? Why can't he be eliminated? Everyone loves to hate him.
Right.
And do they know all these details about him? I don't know.
Well, he basically operates like a Chicago outfit guy. I mean,
Yeah.
they don't really have cell phones. They have burner phones. I mean, but they don't, they don't leave a trace. They don't leave a footprint.
Right. I mean, he talks to people on the phone or he talks to people face to face. That's it. There's no record of these deals that he does. He doesn't want a record of these deals.
Well, was Mike McLean doing all that stuff out of the goodness of his heart? All the stuff that he was asking from ComEd? Did he make that up himself for his own benefit?
I doubt it.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Yeah.
You're listening to On Target Radio. This is AM560 The Answer. Give us a call, 312-642-5600. Our guest this evening is Margo McDermott. We're talking about, at the moment, Madigan. She is retiring from the legislature, and she's going to tell us all kinds of interesting stuff here in a minute.
She's spilling the tea.
Yeah, we're going after it. We want to find out where all the graves are. In terms of Madigan, so that people understand it, Madigan is, no matter what, he's not getting thrown out of the legislature. He's losing his leadership role, but he'll still be a representative.
That's correct. He was reelected by his district.
The question becomes, as we all know, how much money he personally has spent, as well as it's a PAC, I guess he has, also that he runs. Is it a PAC?
Well, the Illinois Democrat Party, he's the chairman of it, so he controls their fund
and
as
plus
well.
He spent his own money too, has he not?
He has, friends of Michael J. Madigan, his own personal
His
campaign fund.
So the question becomes, and we talked about this before the show, the question becomes, he's got access to money. Now that if he's not going to be speaker, and it looks like he won't be, does he really care about the party, and will he keep funding? Or is he going to be just ticked off about the whole thing and say, that's it, you're on your own?
Well, I think the Democrats are going to have to answer, do they want this person who is under the shadow of the ComEd indictments to be the chairman of their party?
Well,
at the state level, he took some losses that I think the rest of the party is furious about. The Kilbride and Sherry Bustos almost getting knocked out. And, at the state level, they did not do what they wanted to do. And they're looking to Mike Madigan as the reason.
I got to ask the question, though. They didn't do what they wanted to do. They're in total hard control of both houses and the governorship. What else do they want to do, for crying out loud? What's left? You want to just pick bones off of carrion?
They don't want any challenges to their power.
Well, there's that.
They're constantly trying to figure out new ways to extract money from us. If it's not taxes, it's fees. You know, they raise the license plate fees, and you know they're constantly coming up with new ways to rob us blind. What was the one they told us about the other day? Oh, the auctions, taxing the auctions.
Taxing auctions, yeah. Well, and here's the other thing, and it wasn't just state level. There's been this sort of thing over the state of Illinois. You ran for recorder of deeds. You got how many? 140? How many votes?
I think I ended up with over 150,000 votes.
Over 150,000 votes. Ed, are you still awake?
Yep.
How do you lose an election in Will County with 150,000 votes?
Vote fraud. The Democrats in their areas where they have solid control make sure that every registered voter is voted. And if the registered voter doesn't show up, somebody will take his place, sign his signature, and the election judges kind of roll their eyes and say the signature matches. And once the ballot goes in the box, you can't get it back.
But that's true. And 150,000 votes is a lot of votes in Will County.
The person who ran for recorder of deeds as a Republican 4 years ago only got like 95,000 votes.
Yeah.
So I got a lot more votes than the last person.
This is something. It's like a cancer has hit Illinois, and Illinois has always had cancer, but it's now like
it's metastasized.
Yeah, really. I mean, it's over the top. I don't know, especially in the legislature, and it has a lot of people who are in the Second Amendment community very concerned. And I want to talk about that when we come back, which we're going to have to take a break here again. And hopefully I'll get the exit better this time. I won't stumble over my words and look like I belong on television. But
you're gonna remember what radio station you're on?
I'd make a bad joke, but then I would have to go to that radio station and ask for a job.
You're going to remember the name of the station and the name of the show. That would be
exactly. Great. So we do have to take a break, but I want to talk about Second Amendment in the state of Illinois because that's got a lot of people concerned statewide and federally. So we'll talk a little bit about both. So all that more when we return with On Target Radio. And you're listening to AM560
The Answer.
If you're not listening to Dan and Amy 24/7, then you're missing daily replays of Chicago's Morning Answer. You're also missing The Dan Proft Show. 3 hours of new content each weekday from Dan Proft. You're missing some of the best moments from Dan and Amy from the past. It's all available at danandamy247.com or on the AM560 mobile app. When you tap on Choose Stream in the bottom left-hand corner, it's Dan and Amy 24/7.
News. I'm Salchi Ingrasso. Speaker Nancy Pelosi says the House will impeach President Trump unless the Vice President and Cabinet use the Constitution to force him out.
House Democrats prepare to take action that could have historic consequences. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi confirmed she will introduce legislation to impeach President Trump. If it succeeds, he'll be the first U.S. president to be impeached twice.
Fox's John Scott. Worldwide coronavirus infections surpass 90 million confirmed cases as more countries brace for wider spread of mutated strains of the disease that's killed nearly 2 million worldwide. Central California authorities search for 6 inmates who used a homemade rope to escape from the Merced County Jail, warning that all 6 should be considered armed and dangerous. NFL Sunday wild card winners Baltimore and New Orleans, Cleveland and Pittsburgh underway. America's listening to Fox News.
Hard drives fail. Viruses destroy data. Having a copy of your work, photographs, financial records, and other important files is one step in a thorough backup plan. Geometrics offers a secure online solution by placing a copy of your data off-site where it's safe from theft, fire, and unauthorized access. Losing photos and financial information is devastating. Geometrics' secure online backup solution is a reliable way to back up important files. The most common reasons for not backing up our uncertainty about what needs to be backed up, and how to do it reliably. Geometrics provides a full-service managed solution with no storage limit. Geometrics does all of the setup, configuring, testing, and monitoring. Your data is even safe when you travel with your Mac or PC laptop. Call 630-759-9283 to talk to a specialist who can help you keep your data safe. 630-759-9283. Geometrics, helping you keep your data safe.
Tell me why Relief Factor is so successful in lowering or eliminating pain. I'm often asked that question. Pete and Seth Talbot, the father and son founders of Relief Factor, tell me they believe our bodies were designed to heal. That's right, designed to heal, and now I agree. The doctors who formulated Relief Factor for Pete and Seth selected the 4 best ingredients, 100% drug-free ingredients that each help your body deal with inflammation. That's correct. Each of the 4 ingredients deal with inflammation on a different metabolic pathway. That right there, approaching your pain from 4 different angles, may very well be why so many Americans find such wonderful pain relief. If you have back pain, shoulder, neck, hip, knee, or foot pain from exercise or even just getting older, you must order the 3-week quick start now. Discounted to only $19.95 to see if it will work for you too. I think it could. Give your body what it needs to heal itself. Go to ReliefFactor.com, call 800-500-8384, ReliefFactor.com.
Safer USA, Chicago's most trusted name in firearm training, is offering beginners classes, tactical pistol and rifle, long-range rifle to 600 yards, and the most comprehensive Illinois concealed carry program available. AM560 On Target radio co-hosts David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz will prepare you to carry a firearm for personal protection, including firearm, holster, and ammunition selection. A comprehensive law review designed to keep you out of trouble and even how to deal with home invasions. Firearm, ammunition, holster, class notebook are provided. Safer USA and the Aurora Sportsman's Club invite you to participate in this one-of-a-kind Illinois concealed carry program that also qualifies you for Florida, Utah, and Arizona non-resident permits. Find out what over 6,000 students already know at saferusa.com.
Or call 815-741-3474. That's 815-741-3474. Safer USA. Choosing to own a firearm is your business. Teaching you to own it responsibly is ours.
Did you miss the open enrollment this year? I can help you purchase a PPO health insurance plan all year long that eliminates the mandatory maternity coverage. This is Tom Marabali, and if you're 50 years old and are covered by the Affordable Care Act, you're paying for maternity coverage whether you want the coverage or not. The least expensive ACA PPO health insurance plan is $540 per month with a total out-of-pocket cost of $8,550 before your bills are paid at 100%. I can eliminate the mandatory maternity coverage and lower your monthly premium down to $273 per month with a total out-of-pocket cost of $2,500 before your bills are paid at 100%. That's a savings of $6,050 in total out-of-pocket costs per person with my lower deductible, and you save $267 per month with my lower premiums. For a free quote and to see if you qualify, call me, Tom Marabali, at 630-863-3477. That's 630-863-3477.
We now return to On Target Radio on AM560 The Answer. If you have a question or an opinion, share it with us at 312-642-5600. And now, debating, debunking, and discussing today's hot issues. Here are your hosts, David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz.
And our guest this evening is Margot McDermott, who is retiring from the Illinois House of Representatives, where she's represented the 37th District since 2014. So now we get to the question that probably most of our listeners are interested in, and that's Second Amendment. There's all kinds of bad bills that have been proposed now. There's almost no time left at all in this session, is there?
It ends on Tuesday.
Okay, so probably it'll all die on Tuesday, right?
Hopefully.
It looks like they're maybe going to pass a couple bills. I don't know if there are going to be any gun bills other than the gun ramifications that are in the criminal justice reform bill that might get a vote.
Yeah. But when you come back, not you, but when they come back with a new, what word do I want?
New General Assembly.
New General Assembly. I'm sure some of these are going to resurface again. They'll be under another title, another name, another number. But there's been all kinds of talk about raising the biggest one that I hear is, well, first of all, the biggest thing I hear is, why don't you get rid of the FOID card? Like, is there somebody in the room with me? How am I going to get rid of the FOID card? Is there any chance that the FOID card will ever go away?
I think that there's a small chance that the FOID card might become permanent. In other words, once you receive a FOID card, it's yours.
Lifetime?
Because the Illinois State Police actually do run all the names of FOID card holders against the various databases out there to see whether there's a reason to revoke someone's FOID card.
People don't know that, not many people anyway, that if you have a FOID card, they run it 350 times a year, every night except five.
Except
five
for
holidays.
the holidays, yeah.
So you get a background check every night. So you're thinking that it might become just a permanent card, not a renewable thing?
It's been discussed because it would really reduce the workload of the Illinois State Police, and we know how far behind they are with renewals. So wouldn't it be great if the only way you lost your FOID card was not because you failed to renew or because they failed to act on your renewal application, but the fact that somehow you came back with a negative result from one of these database checks.
That would be a fairly significant loss of revenue for them, though. I mean, it's only $10 every 10 years as it currently stands, but there are 2 million FOID card holders. So, are they concerned about the loss of revenue?
Well, that's one of the concerns would be loss of revenue, but the other concern would be, can a Democrat rep vote for that? It's probably not a good vote for a lot of the Democrats.
Yeah.
They wouldn't want to take that vote. So, because it would look like you were weak on, on gun control.
Yeah.
The interesting thing is the whole system is fatally flawed. We didn't even know this until 2 shows ago. We got a phone call from a listener who said, I just got my FOID card renewed. It came back after 200 some days, and it's good for 3 years. And I go, no, you're misreading it. Right? And he goes, no, it's good for 3 years. And I go, no, it's not. It's good for 10. I said, let me look at mine. It's 3 years. Well, so I called Rich, the executive director of the ISRA, my boss. Well, no, he's not.
No.
Let me take that back.
You're his boss.
Right. That's right. Anyway, be that as it may.
We're his boss.
That's right. But I called him and I said, Rich, what's this? And he goes, well, a lot of people don't know this, but there's a bug in this system, and it just arbitrarily assigns somebody 3-year renewal instead of 10, and they can't figure it out. And there's another bug in the system. If you take my either my initial or my renewal course, 3 times this has happened since we got concealed carry. You go and enter it in, and it says I don't exist. The certificate's no good. I don't exist. But if you go over and look at the list of instructors, it lists me as an active approved instructor. That's another bug that they can't figure out how to resolve. It just pops up. So I mean, the whole system is. They are 145,000 FOID cards behind on issuing.
Yeah.
123,000 concealed carry permits behind.
It was the number one call for service that I received at my district office.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not the only rep. Most reps, that's their number one call.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. And, now they've been talking about wanting to go back on the concealed carry law and say that local municipalities could make their own assault weapon bans. Can you imagine what a nightmare that would be? I don't know if there's sentiment for that sort of thing.
That's like the only good thing that came out of the concealed carry. I shouldn't say the only, but one of the good things that came out of that law was that it partially got rid of I shouldn't say we got preemption. We got a partial preemption law, which every other state basically already had. Illinois is like one of the only states that didn't have preemption.
Yeah. To go back on that would be very bad for us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It would be. And what people basically say, and it's true, why do we have to have a FOID card? First of all, it's a constitutional right. And that's not an unrealistic question to be asking. Mm-hmm. But anyway, it's very clear the legislature is not pro-gun, and it's very clear that the governor is not pro-gun. So bad things could still happen. We're going to have to take another break. When we get back, I want to talk a little more about Second Amendment in the state of Illinois, and maybe a little about the federal too. But we'll talk about that and more, and we'll be coming up at the last segment. We've got at least 1 or 2 action items. So all that and more when On Target Radio returns. And you're listening to AM560, The Answer.
Please allow me to introduce you to Salem Surround Chicago. This is where we call home, and this is where we help businesses like yours succeed with digital marketing. Yes, a digital marketing agency right here in Chicago that helps you use the latest digital technology to stay in touch with current customers and reach new potential customers. Now, don't let the words digital marketing and digital advertising scare you. You may have heard some of the terminology and couldn't make heads or tails of it. That's why Salem Surround Chicago is here, with a local person you can talk to about the tools your business needs to know about and use to succeed in today's crazy marketplace. Let us show you how cost-efficient digital advertising can be and design a plan that targets and surrounds customers with proven marketing strategies. Contact Salem Surround Chicago at surroundchicago.com for a free evaluation of your marketing plan and to explore the digital marketing landscape. We're right here in Chicago and ready to talk about getting your business to the next level. surroundchicago.com.
Brought to you by the Fund for American Studies. The Fund for American Studies, TFAS, is an educational nonprofit that is changing the world by developing leaders for a free society. Now the Fund for American Studies is taking it a step further to offer you an array of free ebooks written by TFAS professors, speakers, supporters, and alumni so you can experience their education firsthand. Andreas Galarte and Jorge Galicia detail their personal accounts of the horrors of socialism in 2 ebooks titled Lessons from Venezuela, Volume 1 and 2. Before the COVID-19 pandemic, Andreas and fellow Venezuelan refugee Jorge had been touring American university campuses where they stunned student audiences about the reality of socialism. You can be one of the first people to experience a new online library which will equip you with information to help you become a courageous champion of liberty and free enterprise, just as our students do through our programs. Today, there are more than 42,000 TFAS alumni making a difference in their communities by upholding the values essential to the preservation and success of a free society. To learn more and experience TFAS education firsthand, download your free ebook. Visit teachingfreedom.org.
Balance of Nature's fruits and vegetables in a capsule, changing the world one life at a time.
It's really fantastic. I'm pretty active sports-wise, and no muscle strains. I get up in the morning, no stiff back, nothing. I never get sick. I mean, literally, never get sick. And if I feel like there's a little something coming on, I'll take the mega dose. Next day, it's gone. I mean, just my overall health is fantastic. And I plan on continue taking this because I'm convinced that it absolutely contributes to your well-being, to your health. It's keeping you healthy. Let your body do what it's supposed to do.
Experience the Balance of Nature difference for yourself. Right now, Balance of Nature is offering free shipping and 35% off on any new preferred order. Call 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Or by going to balanceofnature.com and make sure to receive this special radio offer by using discount code Chicago.
You're listening to On Target Radio on AM560 The Answer with David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz. Here's David and Gretchen with more interesting conversation on gun control, concealed carry, freedom of speech, and other red meat issues that affect your life. To participate, call the studio at 312-642-5600.
And we're back with more On Target Radio. Our guest is Margaret McDermott, and she's retiring from the state legislature. And her husband, Ed Ronkowski, who we have locked in with George behind the glass, where he's relatively harmless, he's got a burr in his saddle, though, for House Bill 163. Isn't it going to just wash out in a couple of days? It won't exist?
Well, the latest word is that they're going to try to sneak it through with Amendment Number 2. I tried to look it up, but they won't even put the verbiage on the state House website. And what the biggest problem is that they want to eliminate police officers' qualified immunity from lawsuits. And it goes something like this. Right now, police officers could make probable cause arrests, and if somehow the person that gets arrested is found not guilty, he can't sue the police officer for having probable cause. But and probable cause is defined that it's more likely than not that particular suspect committed a specific crime. And more likely than not means it's a 51% chance the person did it. You eliminate a qualified immunity for police officers, that means that 49% of the or so of the arrestees could sue the police officer if it turns out that they were found not guilty. And I don't see a single rational police officer that would want to stay in the job, or a rational person that would want the job as a police officer, if almost half of the people that they arrest end up suing them and garnishing their wages, taking away their pension, and taking away their house and causing them grief. It wouldn't happen. And the people that would want those jobs are doing it for some emotional reasons and makes them unsuitable for being a real police officer. So it would just destroy the criminal justice system, and all the good cops would leave.
I don't know. In my lifetime, I can only think of one time when cops were in such bad favor, and that was back in the 70s during the anti-war movement, and the cops got the same sort of treatment. But they weren't out shooting them, which that seems to be something I like to do these days. Cops have a tough job, and they're not. Every time you got in a patrol car, because I did it for 20 years, and Gretchen was a pointy-headed cop riding around with, looked like she was in the Marine Corps. But anyway, you never knew when you got in the car how it was going to end. But at least you had your government at your back. Now you don't even have that. It's crazy. They want to defund police. That's nuts.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the Minneapolis City Council unanimously voted to defund. And when they say defund, we're not talking about they fire everybody and they all go home. But they voted to defund, to reduce, the budget and stuff and make them, pinch stuff off of their budget. And then as soon as they voted to do that, they called a private security firm and hired them to protect them.
Not to protect the public, but protect the people that voted in the budget cuts.
City council members.
I mean, that's insanity. It's just insanity. So we'll have to watch that and see what happens with that bill. We got about 3 minutes left in this segment. Margot, it really looks like Madigan will not get reelected to leadership. Then what?
That's a really good question. He's been the leader of the Democrats in the Illinois House for so long, and he has never been one to bring up leaders to take his place. There really isn't anyone with the gravitas to take over that job. So it's going to be very interesting. And the way that he maintained power for many, many years was to take various parts of his caucus and kind of divide and conquer. So there's, no love lost among the various factions within his caucus. The Black caucus, the Hispanic caucus, kind of the suburban, the women, the progressives. Everybody has their own agendas, and he literally pits them against each other. So how are they going to be able to come together and move forward in the post-Madigan era?
You remember when Lisa Madigan was talking about running for governor?
Yeah.
The joke at the time was that she was home for Thanksgiving, and she said, "Daddy, I think you're running for the most powerful job in Illinois." And he goes, "I'm not retiring." 47 seconds. Tell me about gun control in Illinois. Is it going to get worse? Everybody's assuming that it's going to. What's the sentiment?
Well, what's going to stop it? We don't have
there is nothing.
A lot to stop it. The Democrats control the governor's office, the House, and the Senate. It's time to worry if you're an advocate of the Second Amendment.
Is it time to start burying guns in somebody else's backyard?
It's already happened.
Yeah. It's I don't know, and the state, that's just in Illinois. And then you got a federal government that if Biden actually gets into office and talking about duplicity, Biden gets in an argument with that blue collar worker, that union guy, who he says, you want to take my guns away, and Biden goes, "You're full of," I won't say the word because I'll get beat, but I'm not. I never said that. And then not 3 weeks later, he's in Texas at a fundraiser for Beto O'Rourke, and he says to him, "You're the guy that's going to come and get the guns for me. I'm counting on you."
Yeah, well, don't worry about Biden. In the first cabinet meeting, they're going to vote him out, and it'll be Harris to be the president.
Well, I heard they were just going to put him on. I heard they're going to put him on the Clinton's best friend list, and that would take care of it. Well,
Kamala Harris is a million times worse than Biden.
Yeah, that's for sure. That is for sure. So we're gonna have to take another break here, and when we come back, we're gonna have action items, aren't we?
I have one.
Have one, great. All that and less when we return with On Target Radio. And you're listening to AM560, The Answer.
Hard drives fail. Viruses destroy data. Having a copy of your work, photographs, financial records, and other important files is one step in a thorough backup plan. Geekometrics offers a secure online solution by placing a copy of your data off-site where it's safe from theft, fire, and unauthorized access. Losing photos and financial information is devastating. Geekometrics' secure online backup solution is a reliable way to back up important files. The most common reasons for not backing up are uncertainty about what needs to be backed up and how to do it reliably. Geekometrics provides a full-service managed solution with no storage limit. Geekometrics does all of the setup, configuring, testing, and monitoring. Your data is even safe when you travel with your Mac or PC laptop. Call 630-759-9283 to talk to a specialist who can help you keep your data safe. 630-759-9283. Geekometrics, helping you keep your data safe.
Did you miss the open enrollment this year? I can help you purchase a PPO health insurance plan all year long that eliminates the mandatory maternity coverage. This is Tom Marabali, and if you're 50 years old and are covered by the Affordable Care Act, you're paying for maternity coverage whether you want the coverage or not. The least expensive ACA PPO health insurance plan is $540 per month with a total out-of-pocket cost of $8,550 before your bills are paid at 100%. I can eliminate the mandatory maternity coverage and lower your monthly premium down to $273 per month with a total out-of-pocket cost of $2,500 before your bills are paid at 100%. That's a savings of $6,050 in total out-of-pocket costs per person with my lower deductible, and you save $267 per month with my lower premiums. For a free quote and to see if you qualify, call me, Tom Marabali, at 630-863-3477. That's 630-863-3477.
You're listening to On Target Radio on AM560 The Answer with David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz. Here's David and Gretchen with more interesting conversation on gun control, concealed carry, freedom of speech, and other red meat issues that affect your life. Stand by. Here's Gretchen with your action items for the week.
Safer USA is now offering classes in Geneva and Waterman. Saturday and Sunday, January 23rd and 24th, Illinois Concealed Carry 1. This 16-hour class will be taught by David and meets the training requirements for Illinois Concealed Carry as well as Florida and Arizona. To sign up for classes, go to saferusa.com and click on register.
Short but sweet. Well, Margot, you're getting towards the end of the candle. This we may be your last radio appearance.
Absolutely, you are.
And
as a state rep, anyway.
It isn't. Well, right. Who
there
knows?
You go.
Who knows what's next? It'll,
quilting.
As you said, it's only a matter of time before she gets a new job.
Exactly. Any thoughts? Just overall, anything you want to say?
Well, I want to remind all your listeners that even though I am leaving the legislature as a big Second Amendment advocate, the gentleman who was elected to take my place in the 37th District, Tim Ozinga, is just as big of an advocate for the Second Amendment. So you're always going to have a friend there.
Well, and I personally want to thank you because there are a lot of people who say they're pro-Second Amendment, and they are, and maybe they're not. There's a lot of people who say they're pro-Second Amendment, and they are. And they, carry a gun. But you actually, you really are. You took my concealed carry class. You actually are a Second Amendment person. There's no wavering about it at all. And we certainly thank you for all that you've done for us over the years.
Yeah, Margot was the second best shot in our class.
Who was first?
Precinct committeeman from Frankfort Township.
Do you have any parting words, Edward? You're always out. If you're around, you're usually in Wisconsin.
Tim Ozinga, who's now Margot's replacement, was he followed his dad in when I was teaching him how to shoot when his dad was running for Congress. And Tim liked the shooting so much, he went to the range to practice and saw some police officers there off duty practicing and was talking guns with them. And he joined their league. And he shoots on almost a weekly basis, and he's a crack shot. And he just fell in love with firearms after I showed him how to shoot a gun.
making converts is, I've taken people who are supposedly anti-Second Amendment, journalists in particularly, and I brought them out to my classrooms in Waterman, and I take them shooting, like particularly the AR. And at first they don't want to do it. Well, then I talk them into it, and after
big
they do
scary
it,
black gun.
yeah. But after they do it, they go, "That's not at all what I thought it was going to be. That's fun." Well, welcome to the club. Yeah, you're right. It is fun. So I don't know. We're all a little bit worried about how it's going to go, though, on the federal level, because almost anything is on the table at that point. The new vice president has, on several occasions, said, in the Biden administration, I wonder if that has any Freudian slip attached to it. So we don't know what's going to happen with that yet. That's yet to be seen. But as I said, my money is our next president is going to be our same president. I still think he's going to pull it out.
I hope you're right.
I don't know. We shall see what we shall see. Do we have anything exciting for next week? We could have Ed on next week or something.
Double Barrel Magazine extended clips.
That's yes.
I had wanted one of our old friends to come on this week, but we already had Margot booked, so maybe we'll ask our other friend to come on next week.
Okay.
Our tall friend who talks like the Terminator.
Fine.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
I like it when you talk cryptic to me because it confuses me.
Easily done.
We would like to thank you for listening to On Target Radio. We certainly thank Margot McDermott, and good luck on whatever you end up doing.
Thanks, David and Gretchen.
We appreciate you've always been accessible to us, which we really do appreciate.
Congratulations on your retirement.
And Ed, thank you. As always, it's a great pleasure to have you, even though we make fun of you behind your back. Thank you, and good night.
Good night.
Hi, it's Steve Cortez. By now, you've all heard me talk about MyPillow and how it's changed my life. I met Mike Lindell,